Hey, thanks for joining me for another edition of The Gift of Gab. Today we are going to talk about pay-to-plays and why I don't believe they're for beginners at all. Now, this is a somewhat controversial topic. There's a lot of folks who believe quite the opposite, that pay-to-plays are the place for new folks to find work, to gain practice, and to get a feel for the industry. The problem is there's not a lot of expectation management that takes place for new folks when it comes to pay-to-plays. So what we're going to do is talk about why, A, again, I don't think they're for beginners, and B, how you can make sure that you're prepared to enter the pay-to-play marketplace. Let's get started. So we're going to start off with a simple pay-to-play checklist. This is your prep worksheet, and all of these items are going to allow you to figure out whether or not you are pay-to-play ready. Item number 1, do you have a professional studio? Now, when we say professional studio, this means an actual place in which to record broadcast quality or better audio. It means a professional grade microphone. It means a professional interface. It means a computer that is hooked up to both of these pieces of equipment. It means pop filters, sound treatment, acoustic treatment. All of these things must be in your possession. If you don't have a place in which to record quality audio, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to book a job, not just on pay-to-plays, but anywhere for that matter. All voice actors have their own professional home recording studio. It's where we do 90+% of our work. Item number 2, do you have at least one professionally produced and recorded voiceover demo? Not a sample, not something you recorded yourself at home, not something that you just threw together. An actual professional industry standard voiceover demo. Now, if you're not sure about the answer to that question, or if the answer is no, unfortunately, you're not ready for pay-to-plays. The competition that you're working against has just that, and they don't just have one demo, they have a few. You can get started with one, however, but if you don't at least have that much, it's going to be really, really difficult for you to make any kind of return on investment on a pay-to-play. Item number 3, do you know and understand the expectations of the industry? If you don't, that's a pretty big problem. If you don't know how to properly negotiate jobs, how to answer auditions, how to meet a client's expectations, then unfortunately, again, you probably aren't ready for pay-to-play. The majority of the booking talent on websites like Voices.com and Voice123 have done all of this already. They have trained professionally. They have worked with voiceover coaches. They do understand in pretty great detail all of those industry requirements and what it is a client is expecting of you as a voiceover actor. So if you have any uncertainty or a lot of uncertainty regarding what it is that you're doing on these websites, you probably shouldn't be on them. Item number 4, there is absolutely, without a doubt, an art form to the process of auditioning for a voiceover job. If you've not had a chance to work with someone to help mentor you, train you, and help to better understand what it is that clients seek from an audition, you're probably making mistakes that you don't even know you're making. You're probably failing to meet some of their expectations, and you may also just be making really silly mistakes that are damaging the audition, again, that you don't know about. So it's really important to make sure that you have a pretty intense level of comprehension when it comes to the auditioning process. You want to be confident about it. Item number 5, how's your audio editing? The number one reason why a lot of voice actors get rejected on pay-to-plays, don't really get much consideration, don't book work, and ultimately don't receive any kind of feedback or star rating is actually the presentation of the audio that they're submitting. The quality of the audio is either bad because it's not being recorded in a professional room, or the editing is poor. You can have a great studio, you can have great sound quality, but if your editing is subpar, you've got a big problem. Because what's happening is you might be mangling that audio, you might be damaging it, destroying it, and presenting a file that's ultimately going to make a pay-to-play client go, this person doesn't know what they're doing. And subsequently, you're going to get passed over for a talent who presented an audition that was edited way, way better than yours. And lastly, make sure you have realistic expectations. Don't fall into all the hype. And believe me, when it comes to pay to play, there's a ton of it out there. All of the websites that are pay-to-plays have to make some pretty significant claims and promises in order to be able to get voice actors like yourself to become users. You want to make sure that you're not being suckered into some of those ridiculous claims. Yeah, in an ideal world, it would be great to say, hey, you're going to pay this fee and we're going to get you lots of auditions and you're going to book jobs. But doesn't that sound just a little too good to be true? I'm not saying it doesn't work, and I'm certainly not saying that there aren't talent who make a great living utilizing pay-to-plays as part of their voiceover portfolio and part of the way that they go about obtaining work. But if you're putting all your stock into a service like Voices.com or Voice123 because you really don't have any other experience or way to get work, you're probably going to struggle a little bit. Moreover, you have to realistically think about, again, all of these preparedness items we've been talking about, and do you really have the skills to be competitive on these sites? It's not a wing and a prayer. Big claims don't equal a lot if after 6 months, a year, you're just wasting your money, okay? Make sure you've done your homework. I am a firm believer that pay-to-plays are the stomping grounds of talent who have been doing this for at least 3 to 5 years, who have a significant amount of education under their belt, who have worked with coaches like myself as well as others to really make sure they are competitive on pay-to-plays. And those are the folks that see the most success. If you've never taken a voiceover class, take a big, big, big step back from setting up a Voice123 or a Voices.com profile. If you want more information about this topic and others like it, definitely take a look at my books. Visit my website, GabrielleNistico.com, and let me know if I can help. I'm always happy to hear from folks. Till then, see you at the next edition.